And now a little story from the Appleseed.
This story comes from the Middle East. I don't know if you've heard of Nasruddin Hoja. He is known as the foolish wise man. And his humor is known for being very smart and intellectual. And this is a story about the Hoja. Now, the Hoja at this particular point in his life, he wasn't married. But he wasn't young either. And he and his male friends were down at the cafe drinking that thick Turkish coffee. You know, the kind that puts hair on the palm of your hands, right? They're sitting down there and they're talking about everything that's going on in the world. But then they start to disparage their wives. They start to nitpick about the kind of people that they are, the things that they can't do. And the Hoja says, no. These women, they live with you. Do not put them down. Respect these people who have chosen to be with you for the rest of their lives. Well, what do you know, Hoja? You're not married. I know I'm not married, but you shouldn't. Yeah, Hoja, you've never been married. How do you know? It's like you should respect women. There's no such thing as the perfect wife. There is. But you're not married. How do you know? Because I met her. I will tell you the story. And so the Hoja took another sip of that thick Turkish coffee and set the cup down and said, I realized at some point in my life a few years ago that I should be married. There are many things that I can do for myself, that there are many things that I cannot do for myself. And so I went to find a woman who would compliment me. Obviously, if I was going to choose someone to live with me for the rest of my life, I would need to find someone that appealed to my eyes. Oh, yes, that's true. And I wanted someone to be the same or similar intellect to myself so we can have conversations long into the night, long into our grey years. Well, yeah, that's true. And as you gentlemen know, I cannot cook, so it would behoove myself to find a woman who could cook. Otherwise, we would just starve to death. Yeah, but you're describing the perfect woman. There's no such person as that. No, Roger, there's no such thing as a perfect wife. He says, no, there is. I met her. Well, come on, tell us then. Well, I went to Baghdad. And by the time I got there, it was late at night. And I knocked on the house where I knew this woman was living with her parents. And so they showed me in that the candlelight was dim and the atmosphere was beautiful. And we had wonderful conversations. And there were things that we shared in common. And the food, which most of it she had cooked, not all of it, but most of it, was delectable. And then, as I was leaving, they turned up one of the lights. And I saw her, and I'm sure she was attractive to someone, but not to myself. You see, Roger, there's no such thing. No, there is. For there was another woman that I met. And when I met her, she was beautiful. The food that she cooked was delectable. And at first, she didn't say very much. But as the evening wore on, she began to talk. And talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. You see, Hodger, there's no such thing as the perfect... But wait. The third woman that I met, she lived in Alexandria. And I met her. It was late afternoon, and we walked along the seacoast with her parents walking behind us. And her hair, long, dark, wavy hair, was flowing about her. Her lips were full. Her eyes were huge, brown pools of divineness. When I was welcomed into their home and I was fed, the food was like heaven was dissolving on my mouth, and she had cooked everything. And the conversations that we had, well, she introduced me to poets that I'd never heard of before. We talked long into the night, chaperoned, of course, by her parents. Well, Hodger, why didn't you marry her? Well, you see, I was seeking the perfect wife, and it seems that she was seeking the perfect husband.
Thanks for joining us for a little story from the Appleseed.